Okay, we are. This is episode 2 here of Late Night with Lyle. We're just going over where we went this last week, and we started off at last episode was done from Snoqualmie Falls in Washington, way over here. That next morning, we got up, hiked the falls, and made breakfast in the RV. Had some pancakes. We didn't have the fancy pancakes that they're known for, because the little store was out and we didn't make reservations for the fancy restaurant looking over the falls. And then we bombed down the 90 here. We went through Moss Lake up through Spokane. Never driven there before. Very pretty. Then after Spokane, we went up to 395 and then we turned off onto the 25. And holy man, that was a wiggly road. And then we crossed over pretty late at night at the border into Rossland, BC. The next morning we visited with Sandy's cousin, second cousin kind of, but cousin. And he's a doctor there in Trail, BC. And then from there we bombed all the way to Cranbrook to visit friends and hung out with them, had supper with them, and then we left and drove through the Crow's Nest Pass right about here, and we stopped right when we got out of the Crow's Nest Pass at Fort McLeod. Small town, just kind of crashed there at a Tim Hortons parking lot, I think that's where that was. And then we got up the next morning, filled up with diesel. And that's another, I'm going to do a little update on our fuel consumption. Right now my automatic one says about 7 miles a gallon. I don't know if I'm doing better or worse than that, but we'll see what happens once I do the calcs. And then we left from there. We bombed it all the way through Regina to Melville, Saskatchewan. Visited friends there the next morning. Had kind of a brunch with them. And then we kept cruising all the way to, it's actually Asheville. It's just outside of Dauphin. That's Sandy's uncle and aunts. And stayed there for 2 nights. They have a very beautiful place, big place with lots of room for us. We could plug into the 220 volt 50 amp service. It was all good. And then from there we visited my nephew up in Winnipeg and checked out his farm, Archie Creek Ranch, I think they call it. That'll be coming up in an upcoming video. And then we headed down to Brandon. We stayed there for night. And then we got up, or there we visited with friends, got up, visited with more friends, and then we bombed it to Winnipeg. And this is going to be our second night here. And like I am, I'm a day late, dollar short like usual, but we'll get this up tonight. Anyway, that's kind of where we're at. No major difficulties with our coach since we left Sacramento. We got that bearing in place. It's not leaking at all good. The generator's been going good. Yeah, it's been good. We had a little bit of rain. We've actually driven in rain almost every day. Today it did not rain here in Manitoba, Winnipeg, Manitoba. But this is the first day that we have not been rained on or driven in rain at some point. Nothing super scary. Driving in here, we had a good rainfall. Probably the hardest rain I've driven in. Heading just out of Brandon. And yeah, but our last big storm that we endured was way down in Vegas, and that was quite the show. Anyway, catch up with you next week. Hopefully, we have some special guests next week. We didn't. Our special guest didn't pan out for this week. I'm going to talk to the producers, and we'll see if we can get that all straightened out. But see you next week.